Hi, this is Osman. I'm an energy healer specializing in terminal illnesses and critical care recovery, and also a yoga and meditation, advanced yoga and meditation teacher. Be sure to visit my website yogawellness786.com for more information on my services, as well as contact information. Please remember that our therapies are all natural based and not a replacement for medical treatment. If you have a medical condition, please be sure to consult with a qualified and licensed medical practitioner in your locality. Today I wanted to discuss the illumination, enlightenment, or Samadhi, or nirvana state of meditation, which is considered or reputed to be the highest state that one strives for in the yoga and meditation sciences. So firstly, it's not the highest. There are many levels higher than that. It's one of the first major levels. One of the major landmarks that one attains in yoga and meditation is when you reach the maturation of the sixth level of the energy center, the third eye region, and when that completely develops and opens, it is said to be the first major goalpost for meditators, right? And it is still part of the material world, and the one higher than that, the seventh level, the one, the energy center slightly above the crown, the Sahasrara chakra, is where one experiences Samadhi, right, or the beginning of Samadhi. So there is actually two levels above the crown, the seventh, and there's one above that, the eighth, right? So in Samadhi, usually they describe two types of Samadhi, because within the time frame in which we are living and what people have experienced, they could only account or relate those two levels, because it's going to take millions of years before one experiences the levels above that. And above the seventh level, they said it is reputed to be 99 levels of advancement, and each level taking that much longer to attain, where it goes to millions and millions of years before one advances from one level to the other, and it keep increasing, and it's that much more complex and complicated. But coming back to the general definition of Samadhi, within what is known and which is popular, in the world today, is the two types of Samadhi, Nirvikalpi Samadhi and Savikalpi Samadhi. So the Savikalpi Samadhi is the first Samadhi that one experiences, and that is where when you experience extreme bliss, you experience surge of knowledge and understanding of what is true and what is not true. And it is stated in the yogic literatures as the state of Satchitananda, Sat, Chit and Ananda, right? Three words combined to say Satchitananda. Sat meaning truth, Chit is consciousness, not as you are experiencing, because you are experiencing conditioned consciousness, right? You are thinking that you are the body, you are thinking you are the mind, you are under illusory consciousness. So the Chit is referring to where illusion is removed, and you can see things as they are, and you are conscious in a way that you can see everything in the way that it is in its full energetic levels, and you can see multiple frequencies and the world. You can even see the ocean, see the energy of the ocean, the mountain, the energy of the mountain, and you are able to communicate with the mountains and the ocean, and each one, you can communicate with the wind, because it has an energy, it has motion, or it has existence. Anything that has existence has got some form of energetic energy that's creating its existence, right? Because it has atoms and electrons and neutrons, that are holding it together through some force of energy that's keeping the atoms together. And it is stated that when you on the full chit awareness, right, chit, the this unillusioned, beyond illusion, where illusion is removed and you can see things as they are, is the chit. And ananda is bliss, or you experience, not in the sense of bliss that how you feel blissful and serene. That bliss is so exponentially high that if you experience just 1 or 2 seconds of it in your state of body as you are now, it will feel as if every cell is exploding and you cannot withstand, as though you're going to explode, and you will have to stop the feeling because it is so extreme. And but eventually, as you advance in yoga, your body transforms in order to be able to withstand that high levels. And it is described by Swami or Paramahamsa Yogananda in his book on the autobiography of a yogi. It's like akin to 1 billion volts of energy going through your body, right? So of course it's not 1 billion volts, but it's trying to explain how strong that sensation is. And myself, having experienced the state of Samadhi on 5 occasions, in the past, I can say that it's not something that I'm afraid to experience it again. I understand why there's so much of preparation, decades and decades of preparation to prepare your energy body to be able to welcome that level of energy, into you, and to be able to withstand that level of energy into you. Someone who attained that level, who could withstand the level fully, is the teacher of you. Of course, Yogananda himself, we believe he could withstand it, but he never spoke of it. But some account of someone who has physically been able to do that was the teacher of Paramahamsa Yogananda, in his book of the autobiography of a yogi. When he went to sleep, he went into the state of Samadhi, and his entire body was vibrating with that energy. That when Yogananda thought he was dead because he was not breathing and there was no heartbeat, and touched his body, it was like filled with electricity. It's like you can get electrocuted, from it. So that's how, deep level. So that is the first level, Sabikalpi Samadhi. In that level, you still know who you are and who that everyone else is. You're still maintaining a semblance of your individual identity. In the next level, in Nirvikalpi Samadhi, you get so deeply merged into it, you lose your consciousness of yourself. You no longer feel that you are this person and you are this body, and you're not conscious of your body as your body. You are conscious of everything that is existing. So the trees, the furniture, the wind, the ocean, the planets, and everything that is existing, all the planets, the galaxies and so forth, you're experiencing it as if it is you. And anything happens, someone is slapping another person, you're feeling it as if you getting slapped. Another person is, getting shot, you're feeling the bullet in you. Everything that is happening to billions of people, there's 8.4 billion people, you're feeling it as you. Everything that the tree, the chopping, you're feeling the tree as you. You are no longer feeling you as an individual entity like this. You're feeling you are part of the universe and everything, right? This is called Nirvikalpi Samadhi, right? And it is a very amazing state and a second level of Samadhi. So the goal of yoga sciences is to go into that Nirvikalpi Samadhi, right? And to go beyond that level. So beyond that level, according to Sivaya Subramanya Swami, who is now late, he founded the Saivite Church in Hawaii. He's got many writings, and they go into the state which is, they say cannot be described with words. It is beyond description. And when they go into it and they don't get, they come, is to go into it and not get lost into it, and to keep coming back and try to be there and come back, be there and come back, to keep going and merging into that state and visiting the state and coming back to your normal consciousness, and carrying. And I was fortunate to be taught under him, a lot of what I know as well. One of my teachers in the past, and he describes this. So the goal, the Samadhi level that you think is just the beginning of the next level, or the spiritual levels, right? And there are 99 levels of that. So the description of the Samadhi, I hope this brings about a little wider or deeper understanding of the states of Samadhi. And one thing I would like to note, that many people, when they go especially into the second Samadhi, the Nirvikalpi Samadhi, where they become one with everything, they state that there is no God, right? That they become perfected beings, and it's just an evolution of the self, which I will not say that is false, because it is, there's strong philosophies behind it, and very respected people, who, especially in the Buddhist science, the Buddha says that he did not experience any God, right? He never said there's no God. He said never experience any God. You only experience higher levels, and the perfection of the self. So in Buddhism, they're just striving towards greater and greater of self-perfection, and going into higher states of awareness. And a lot of people, they get lost into the Samadhi state and thinking this is the ultimate, and it's the be-all and end-all. No, it is only the beginning. But as much as you lose your individuality, you are still an individual, because you are an individual now, right? So people say that, especially from certain philosophies, that they become God. There's no difference between God and a very highly elevated person, because they became one. They don't even know what is the concept of God. The concept of God, in my opinion, is beyond the comprehension of the mind and the intellect, or anyone's mind or anyone's intellect. Is incomprehensible and inconceivable, right? I believe in that philosophy. Not that the other philosophies are incorrect. I'm just giving an argument from a particular standpoint, that don't just think that, because you're going into and interested in the yogic sciences, that Samadhi, once you go into Samadhi and you die in a state of Samadhi, you're going to, exist that way forever. There are certain schools of thought that say that eventually you'll get tired of being merged in that. Because you're an individual, you have to descend again, because you need to give expression to yourself. You can't give expression where you lose yourself. You have to come back to yourself and have an individual identity in order to give expression. And people who are in that, maybe they are merged into it according to this philosophy, millions of years or billions of years, but eventually they return, because they're still an individual. And also other individuals and schools of thought say you become one with God, you and God become one, right? So there is a counter argument to that. Yes, they felt one with the cosmic energy, or all that exists, on a certain dimension level. But how many dimensions above are there? And who created those ones above? So is the one that you are on, which is the very first dimension of the spiritual world, can you say that that is God, right? If there is higher ones, wouldn't he be above all that, right? That's just an argument, right? To bring about a contrary argument, so that you don't get lost into believing that you're going to become. How can, in my opinion, right, I like to be pragmatic and logical. How can you, if you are God, right, and you can become God, that God, which is you, eventually you become God, means you are God, right, and you perfected yourself, that God got lost and forgot that is God, and you come down to a lower level, and you have to struggle, and you can't even get You can't say, I want $1 billion to appear in front of me and doesn't appear in front of you. I want all my problems solved, it's not solved. I want all my illnesses to go away, it doesn't. What kind of God, is that forgets and has all these problems and descends and struggles, have that type of struggle, and that is you, and I'm not saying God can't come on earth, right? But to say that every person becomes God or one with God, and that they become God, can God become conditioned? Right? Is the question. I'm not saying no, he cannot become conditioned, but I don't think so. Logically, I don't think so. So I believe that maybe yes, you went to the higher level, you merged with a certain dimension and became one with that dimension. But it doesn't mean you are that dimension. It's just you merged with, you lost your identity. But you can come back and regain your identity. Means you are still you. Means if you are not you, you are, that identity, then how can, you be a separate entity? How do people come back and, act independently? You're supposed to be merged into everything that is existing without the need for an individual identity. So I hope that information helps spark your thought processes and bring more awareness and enlightenment into the yogic sciences. And take care always.